new Star Wars films, and a brand new canon timeline has been introduced at Star Wars Celebration this week. We are so excited. Ryder, please get into the first thing we got here.
All right, starting off, Rey is returning. Sharmeen Obaid-Chinoy is directing a new film set after the rise of Skywalker, 15 years after. This is going to be, of course, about Rey rebuilding the Jedi Order.
Yeah.
Now, look, loved Rey. The stories, say what you will about the stories, but the character, I've loved Rey, and I think this is exciting to see more future with her and what happens with the new Jedi Order, new kids.
Absolutely.
Let it be known, Grogu is 91. Maybe they throw my baby boy in there. No,
that would be pretty nuts. What do you kind of see this being, Ryder? Like, do you think this opens and Rey is already starting some sort of, I don't know, place to train other Jedis? Is she more mature in the Force at this point? How are we looking? Or is it maybe the journey to get there sort of deal?
I think this is 15 years of her training. I think she's going to be completely powerful. She's going to be so incredibly well learned in the Jedi Order and in the Force that she's going to be OP. I mean, I think she's going to be the same age as it is. And I think, she's going to be training new young Jedis. And I think the Force is going to start spreading out maybe just a little bit. And she's going to recruit those kids. And maybe it's kind of a youthful thing, maybe even different ages. But there's a lot of potential.
I'm kind of excited to see for this is whatever the evolution of the costumes are, because I feel like Rey had some like iconic. The look was iconic for her. What does that look like 15 years later after a trained Jedi? Is like pretty exciting. But another kind of wish list item I have for this is I would love to see them. I hate the word retcon because that's like whatever. I hope they develop. I want them to get John Boyega back, and I want him to be a Jedi in this. I think that would be awesome.
John Boyega and even Poe Dameron, but I think more so John because of how they kind of, everybody knows, even he said it. They shafted him a bit with the marketing him as going to be a potential Jedi to kind of shaft his story to, be a side character. But he deserves his time in the spotlight. I think it's very likely we see him come back.
Oh, it would be so cool.
And join Rey. Yeah. Imagine 15 years, dude. He could be we see him off the bat and he's the Force and he's helping.
Yeah. It's what I want. It's what I want to see so bad. In this movie, we don't know anything about it except that Sharmeen Obaid-Chinoy is directing and writing. Is she directing it or just writing it?
No. So Kathleen Kennedy says Stephen Knight is writing the script. So for those of you that don't know, amazing writer, worked on Locke, Burnt with Bradley Cooper.
Oh, that's funny.
The Kristen Stewart, Princess Diana film, Amazing Grace, and creator of Peaky Blinders. The creator and writer of that's wild. So within the next month and a half, they'll get the script. But that's it for apparently, what is this called? Dawn of the Jedi? Or, no,
okay, so let's introduce the timeline.
I don't know why I said
Let's introduce the timeline.
Yeah.
Obviously, I should pull up a picture on screen, but start explaining it while I put the picture on screen.
We have starting off. James Mangold is going to start something called Dawn of the Jedi, set 25,000 years in the past. We have the Old Republic, then the High Republic. We have the fall of the Jedi, and then the reign of the Empire. We know Vader and Palpatine. Age of Rebellion, they fought back. The New Republic, which is what we're in with the Mandalorian. And then the First Order comes with Kylo Ren and Snoke and them. And then they, the movies, the sequel trilogy. And then we get to the New Jedi Order, which is what Rey and her gang is running and taking over.
Yeah,
that's some cool stuff.
Super interesting. I'm sorry, I just cropped this baby in, so now we have an idea of what it is. I know you just went over it, but I want to talk about it a little bit more, if that's Gucci.
Oh, for sure. But it's cool to see the clarity.
Yeah,
see the direction.
This is a big direction. This is a big direction shift, I would say, too, from what we thought we were kind of getting. Because we'll go into the other movies in just a second here, but the fact that we've expanded in both directions, and it's not just like we have given a name to the Mandalorian kind of era, which is the New Republic, the in between Age of Rebellion and Rise of the First Order. I guess that's kind of what would make sense to me. But the fact that we have this movie will be taking place in the New Jedi Order, right? At the end, or not the end,
Jedi
but
Order.
Kind of. Here's interesting. On the left side of this banner, you can't really go farther back than that. Like, we have all the way to Dawn of the Jedi, which we'll get to in a sec too. But it's a continuous line this way, right? Continuous line. It'll just keep going. They can make new eras and stuff. But there's going to be a hard cap. And this Dawn of the Jedi thing seems to be like the Star Wars hard cap on the left.
Yeah.
So on that note, let's get into James Mangold's film, which is, if I bring it back here, James Mangold set to film a movie at the dawn of the Jedi, which is the earliest. It's described as a biblical epic. He compares it to the Ten Commandments, that film, which is insane. The film is to be about the origins of the Jedi, taking place 25,000 years in the past. 25,000 years. Quote, it's a chance to tell an entire story of its own, the birth of the Force. Where did it come from? How was it found? Who was the first Jedi? We don't know much about this at all.
This is uncharted territory. That's what's exciting about both these sides, right? Like you talked about. This is not like, oh, I want the CG trailers of the old Republic. This is 25,000 years. We don't know what the technology is like, the ships,
Nothing.
the costumes. We know nothing. This is the start of a universe that already takes place a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. So we don't know what the aesthetic could be. He could go any direction and it could look like anything. And that's what is really enticing about this.
I really have no idea what this could look like, to be honest.
I know, right?
Like I don't even have a start.
Because Star Wars already looks old to me. Like I think of like old, I don't know. I think of an old,
but it's so
era.
modern.
I don't know.
It's so modern at the same time.
And modern too, yeah. It's a weird blend, right? So it's like, I don't know. Is there a lack of technology? That's what's.
I mean, yeah, like there has to be.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
lack of ships, and it's more of the Force is a religion. I heard that quote being thrown around, like the Force is a religion, kind of both light and dark. Like again, it's that dyad that we've seen of like.
Yeah,
there's good and there's bad. There always is in this universe. So it's like, oh man, they can really get into the crux of it.
It's a compelling thing, especially in the. I'm gonna bring up the stupid High Republic books again. Here I go. But like in the second phase, it takes place like early in the High Republic, where the technologies, there's not a lot of technology. It's hard to communicate with each other. Like it's just like everything's a little more grounded. Can't light speed. I don't really think is a thing or anything like that at this point. But like the idea that the Force is a religion is big there too, because there's like religious cults that think they're doing right in the Force, but like really going against certain things. I feel like that could be an interesting angle here too. Of like, yeah, I don't even know what are the sacred texts of the Jedi. Oh
my gosh, right? Yeah, they're gonna probably show them being written, right? Like this is what our order could be, right?
We're gonna see those like sacred texts, and then when like Rey's developing the new order, like that'll be in the new library in Coruscant, like of the new Jedi Temple of like the books that are written in the Dawn of the Jedi. It could be awesome.
Wow, they could connect it all, and the one who will probably connect this all is the man himself, the cowboy hat wearing,
yeehaw,
Star
baby.
Wars, yeehaw, baby, Dave Filoni, working on a new film. Yeah, he's working on a new film, New Republic. This is going to be closing out the Mandalorian and Ahsoka plots. So apparently, it's said to be the culmination of story arcs that have spawned from Mando, the spin-offs, and the animated shows.
Yeah.
It's going to take place in between episodes 6 and 7. No, 6 and 7, yeah.
Yeah.
I think in between Return of the Jedi and, Kylo Ren in that era. It's going to be about the war of New Republic, which is like, oh, yes.
Yeah,
everything comes together.
But what is coming together? Like, what are we going to build towards? Will Thrawn, is it a Thrawn story? Like, is he the enemy of this? Is there a new threat that will arise in Ahsoka? Like, I feel like it's too late to build a new threat to a single movie. I mean, you could. Movies do it all the time. They create a threat in the movie to do. But I feel like if they're building it off these shows and stuff, there should be... I mean, I think that in Mandalorian, Giancarlo Esposito's character has to be working for Thrawn, right? Like, he has to be working for Thrawn.
And again, it could be all leading back to Palpatine and Snoke, right? When I think it's going to add more gravity to Poe's line if somehow Palpatine return. I don't think it's just that random. They've been planning this. All of Mando, I think, has always been a preparation of Snoke and Palpatine. They're trying to get Grogu's, DNA. They're trying to clone Palpatine.
Yeah.
I think this cloning technology is what they were going to do 30 years in the future for Snoke and Palpatine. So it could be Thrawn and Moff. They're the ones that we end up seeing them die in this film, and it leads into Snoke and Palpatine. But it's like, it's building up to, we're going to bring him, we're doing it. It's Palpatine, and it's everybody trying to stop these guys with this cloning stuff.
That's also interesting too. Yeah, I think
that's my theory.
I mean, we did get like an entire episode on Dr. Pershing, which was all about cloning and stuff like that. Or his work was all cloning for the Empire.
I think it's Snoke, dude. It has to be.
Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, that would be very interesting. I would think I would like it if Thrawn would be like the bad guy,
That guy.
and then
Yeah.
but like Snoke is
Hmm.
coming to power
A
through
presence.
even
Yeah.
through Thrawn's defeat. Because like, come on,
Dude. Yeah.
we're gonna have our
Yeah.
friends be victorious. Will we lose them? Do you think Mando dies or like
Oh,
someone's
that's what I was thinking. Dude, I guarantee you, Mando he might take it.
because
Because
like
it's like, why wasn't he there? Nah.
yeah.
Or maybe he just says, take it off my helmet, and Pedro's like, I'm chilling
No,
on a farm.
I
You
mean,
know, no.
bro, I've
I know.
been talking about this forever, but like Mandalorian this season, what they are doing is they're going to create a way so that the Mandalorians don't have to wear helmets anymore. They just did it for
I
Bo-Katan
hope
in
so.
5 minutes in one episode. They can do it this
Take,
season for Mandalorian.
bro.
Yeah,
I hope they do. Just
it's
take them off.
it's going to happen. They,
Yeah.
yeah, we could talk about that later. But this is about the Star Wars Celebration main 3 films, right?
Yeah.
Is there any like wish list items that you have about this?
I think I just want to see more. Again, we're getting Acolyte Dark Side. I just want to see more Dark Side perspective. I think we're gonna get that in Dave Filoni's film, kind of, this rising with Thrawn, and I think that's kind of where my attention is. I love Rey. I'm excited to see again what an antagonist, what a conflict would look like now in the future, right?
Yeah.
You got to set up a whole new conflict, new antagonist, essentially. I mean,
This
there's always
feels like
a
the
bad
New
guy.
Order feels like an anthology off of this last generation. It doesn't seem like a start of a new generation. It seems like a middle piece. This
Yeah.
The new Jedi Order section is
Ooh.
similar to like this New Republic section.
Yeah,
where,
yeah.
Of like
It's gonna to another trilogy that maybe
Of
Ryan
course.
Johnson works on, and it's like set 50 years.
which they
I don't
said,
know.
yeah, they said Ryan Johnson, he's working on the Knives Out films and he's like
He's busy.
they keep talking about it, but there's nothing like set in stone, so they're not ready to announce anything. Same with Kevin Feige.
trilogy.
They said too, is like he had an idea for a Star Wars film. They greenlit it internally, sort of thing, and then
Huh.
but there's been no movement on that, and so they're not expecting
Yeah.
that anytime soon. But they talked very highly of, I mean, Kevin Feige and Ryan Johnson, which is cool. And then they said Taika,
Yeah.
he's writing it all by himself. He doesn't want anybody to help him writing, so they haven't seen the script yet. All that was said
okay.
during like a panel, I guess.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, we're getting fed. Listen, we want to hear, what are you excited for? What do you want to see? Theories. I mean, these are three great film announcements. This is
Yeah.
best case scenario, I think. But
It's
I'm
very,
excited.
very exciting. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you want to watch our entire Star Wars Celebration centric episode, you can go on all podcast platforms and type in freeze frame strictly casual. It'll be a yellow box with a freeze frame white writing in it. This is episode 106. It'll be titled something Star Wars Celebration, and you'll be able to know right away. If you want to watch the full video podcast, you can go on youtube.com/strictly casual and become a member. Thank you guys so much for watching. We'll see you on the next one. Peace out.